That's a kiss. A kiss is a kiss. What are you talking about?
No, there's a kiss and then there's a kiss. It was a peck.
I should be Brian right now. Make up a word.
Do you want to say? Because we happy to hear your voice, bro.
First and foremost, I just like to say thank you guys for like inviting me on. I
No
feel like
worries,
the
bro.
conversation right now is very interesting.
Mhm.
I just wanted to play kind of like devil's advocate in a sense,
Go for it.
and kind of like back Jay, because I
Mm.
feel like I don't feel like Jay has done anything wrong in a sense,
Oh, okay. Go for it,
because
sir.
right, he's on a game show to find love, right?
Yeah.
So he's got to put himself in a position where he can open up to as many people as possible to find the true connection, and that's what he did. Like he opened himself to 3 different women. Like they might have thought he might have been leading them on, but I just feel like he was trying to see who he really and truly connected to, and like he was talking to. You might say he was spitting game to the different women, but I just feel like he was trying to open himself up, try to get to know them, and then seeing their actions as well. And you could
Mm.
notice that after Simone showed her true characters in the sense that she was quite argumentative, that's when he pulled away, and he was like, okay, maybe she's not the one for me. She's not the one that I'm kind of like vibing with, and that's when
Mm.
he focused his attention on Winter and Joy. And then and I feel like, and you could see as well, like with the discussion he had with, I think when they had like the dinner, and I think it was Winter and Joy's like family members. I don't know where exactly that episode were, and was it called? And they asked him the question, "Who are you feeling the most, or who's your number one?"
Mm.
And he clearly said in that moment, Joy. So I don't think like he's done anything wrong. He was clear with his intentions. Like he actually said, you know what? Out of these 2 women now, after Simone has gone out of the equation, I'm actually feeling Joy, and
Mm.
that's as honest and straightforward as he can be. Like he's allowed himself to form like connections with these 2 women, but he's also given himself that opportunity to make the choice and say, you know what, this is the one I'm feeling the most. And rightly so. The reason why he chose Joy, because he was seeing that stepping away and just watching these or 2 women interact. Like
Mm.
Joy was the most composed. She was calm. She carried herself in this kind of like cool manner. She wasn't getting too much in like the cat fights and all sorts. She carried herself in a really nice way that he liked. So I feel like at the end of the day, and he said it to Simone as well. Like he feels like he had. I mean, he said it to
To
Winter
winner.
as well. Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
that he felt like he had the most connection with Joy, which is as straightforward as you can be. Like I don't know why a lot of people are getting onto him. Like he was on the show to find love, and you're on a game show. You've got to make connection. You've got to talk to these different women, and he's just a natural. He's a natural flirt. Like talking to women comes natural to him. So naturally, it's gonna come across like he's spitting game or he's just like cool, but he's just like a cool, calm guy. And it's not his fault that these women gravitated towards him, and
Mm.
it felt like like he was leading them on. But at the end of the day, when it came down to it, he was able to make a decision and go for Joy. That's
Mm.
what I just wanted to add on
No
that
worries, bro.
situation. Bro.
Stay on there, because I'm gonna let the woman speak to you. Bro, stay on there, okay? Stay
Sure.
on there, Dave. Okay, it's good. And first of all, it's good to hear a guy on here, and
Thank
you
you.
British too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you,
yeah.
I don't know if you wake up early, you stayed
Yeah, I
up late.
woke
I'm
up
not
early,
sure,
man. I woke up early for
bro.
this. Yeah.
Business. I like it, bro. I like it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry, I won't tell Jesus. So let me get Jess on. Jess gonna reply, and I would love to fester more of a conversation around this, because men and women do sometimes see things differently, and that's good. We like to have good rounded conversations. So I appreciate David. Stay on. I'm gonna mute you. I'm gonna let Jess just respond to that and go for it.
Okay, so honestly, before you brought him in, I was already just sitting and listening and had a response about Jay because I agree with you. I think that again, this is for my mental sanity. It's a show,
Yeah.
so yes, he did have this like for Winter and for Joy, and I think this goes also to what a man needs versus what he wants. I understand he may have said out of his own mouth that Simone and Winter were his type, but
Mm.
everybody there was there because what they're doing is not working. And I think he
Mm.
saw something in Joy. While she may not have been quote unquote his physical type, there was an attraction. And I don't believe in being fake and phony, but part of adulthood is not the shady thing maybe that she did with Winter or that other stuff, but all the other situations where it's like, well, I want to see how her life is going to play out, or where she essentially, people are saying, I want to see where she's going to fall and where she's going to show her true self. We all are human and we all got some ugliness, but part of being adult is saying, I need to have some decorum about myself when I'm in public, or i.e. the TV show. And so it's not a fake or she doesn't have any issues, but how do I hold myself together? Because that's what adults do. We hold ourselves together when we're when we're in public, when we're interacting with other people. And I think one of the things is Winter and him didn't just have a special bond because they were going back and forth to each other's room. What a woman allows is what will happen. So yeah, that's his normal physical type, and they needed to go back and forth in front of rooms. How about the reason you're not going back and forth to my room is because I'm not allowing that, no matter how much I like you. And so that could have been a situation of, yeah, well, maybe he didn't go back and forth with Joy's room. One, maybe we didn't see it, or maybe that's just was like, after it's over, this is what we're doing. We're not having that. I also think I want to add in there that I think a lot of people have mentioned, even on interviews and on this topic, Jay was playing it cool and smooth and all this. I don't want, at least my guy that I'm dealing with, to be all unraveled. And I love Edwin's genuineness and how he was so able to talk. I think that's a great thing. But some of that play it cool role is, to me, if we're going to use an analogy, like the guy has to go out to the big corporate meeting in front of everybody and keep it calm and keep it together. I like some of the quote unquote smoothness. Now, I don't want a player and someone who's fake, but sometimes you do have to hold it together as a guy. You do have to have that straight face. Yes, in a real relationship, when you come home, you can definitely be vulnerable with me, but the cameras were everywhere. He had to play a role of, hey, I'm centered, I'm secure, I'm solid. And again, like other people were saying, just as the gentleman, he said what his choice was. That was on you to go back and forth with him in the middle of the night, talking to him, and then upset because it didn't convey when you were in the camera time. I think that goes back to another, I'm okay with being second. By no means do I think that Joy is perfect at all. But I do think she made it a point to say, I'm going to carry myself this way. I've done some work. Someone else, I think, said, oh, I've done all the work and I'm fixed. No, I don't actually think she ever said that. She just made it clear that I'm in therapy. I'm working on my stuff. She had some confessional moments that were kind of funny where I'm like, oh, she said something that was a little interesting or a little off or a little. So she's still very much human, but she really is working in those areas, I think, that need addressing. And sometimes what work in progress, but on the other side of that hill looks like is, I'm still imperfect, I'm still human, but I am going to be a little calmer. I am going to package my stuff a little bit different. And again, I'm going to end with the same thing I started. It's a show. So we don't get to see everything that everyone's going through. But I feel like Jay, and I can't quite say they're not together just because of body language. I think a lot of things are scripted. And I think that, hold on, wait till next time to show me. Because if I'm all hugged up, what with that cliffhanger wouldn't have done anything for me if you guys were all in each other's lap. I would have already known you were together. So I think everything has been strategic with this first reunion. So I can't quite say I don't think they're together. But yeah, there's my piece on that.
Thank you, Jess. Appreciate it. Kenya, you wanted to say something? Go for it.
Yes, I wanted to just say, from my perspective, just personal opinion, that the way Jay made his moves are less strategy and more just who he is. Even when he was being personal with Joy, and Joy would kind of make hints to something that she may have had an idea, he still had this vagueness about him. And so if Joy is in his top, and then we see him do the utmost when her sister died, it's like, so why this vagueness on the one-on-one conversation? Why are you so elusive when the cameras are on? Obviously, it is who he is to be one way with the cameras and one way off the cameras. So then he's continuing this portrayal or narrative. I saw the same thing also in Joy too when it came to the situation with Simone. She was very intentional about keeping the same narrative, no matter how many times Simone screamed and yelled and said, I didn't mean it like that. Because I think that when it comes to Jay's type, she may have seen what interest he had. They even showed that on the show, that it was awkward between her and Winter. But I think that Winter was less of a threat to Joy than Simone was. That's why Joy went the extra mile and was like, I'm going to keep this narrative. I'm going to tell him what the girl's drama was. I mean, guys like the tea and they want their girl to tell them. But Joy held on to that for quite a while, you know, to the point where Simone is like, I didn't really mean it like that, explained herself several times. And she's just like bent on, nope, you're messy. Yep, that's who you are. You saw her, right, Jay? That's how she was holding on to that. And I think that was strategy on her part. Jay, he just makes his moves like the way he does because that's just who he is as a bachelor. I don't think that it means that it's permanent. Like everybody's been saying, you can grow, you can change.
I agree.
I think Jay is the type of person, when I am committed, I'm going to commit. That's why we saw him do what he did for Joy. And so my sister is trying to enter the chat. She's like whispering stuff to me. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say. I don't think Winter was like a major threat, but it was really interesting to even see Winter comment on the whole dynamic of the situation and say, well, no, I didn't really view it as anything. Like, no one ever wanted to call Jay out for nothing. No one has addressed, wow, you know what, Jay? Why did you portray yourself one way in front of the cameras? Why didn't you tell me? Why it was addressed like, I want to hear what Winter has to say about that. No, why you don't want to hear what Jay has to say about that? That's what I'm wondering. What's up with that?